just playing it cool right now so you can get out is actually so much more harmful. And I think that there are times in life where I would have just said, like, just shut the fuck up, keep your head down, fly under the radar and do it. And I'm not telling you to like cause this big fuss and all these things, but I am telling you every single time we self-abandon, the price that we pay is so much more than the relief we get from just letting the moment slide. And when there are people in our lives who are super fucking miserable, and every time we see them, they are pulling us to the misery, the truth is they want to relate to us. And they're relating to us from the only point at which they know how. And it's on some bullshit. And so it's really tough because in order for you to feel good, you have to become unrelatable, which is counterintuitive to one of our strongest human desires, which is that sense of belonging. And yes, when you get to your proverbial new tribe in your new city or your new home or your new relationship, it's easier to relate. But what we haven't taught ourselves is I can trust myself to protect myself and to stand up for myself and to believe in myself. And so we fly under the radar so that we can keep the peace with other people, which means we start a war within ourselves. We get out of that little battle with them, and now we're in a peaceful place at war with ourselves. So what do? Perpetuate that cycle in that new space, perhaps to a lesser degree if you are fucking lucky. But you never really won that battle. You never really won your trust because you never really passed the test of showing up for yourself when it really mattered. So the only option you've told your brain that you have when shit gets tough, bitch, run. Which is possible if you never want stability or normalcy. But I'm not sure that that's what most of us want. The words are the same, but we're all projecting only what we are. I realized the other day that because I'm such a confident and competent person, I mistakenly project confidence and competency on other people. And then I'd be like, it was so fucking easy, right? Because we all want to relate. Your family wants to relate to you, but that's the energy they're on. And you're like, I don't qualify. You need a weak bitch for that job. That's not me. That's not me. It's not fun. I'm not excited. They don't do nothing for me. And when I walked away from my marriage, and I one of the things that says, this isn't about hate. The woman who you deserve, I don't deserve to be. You deserve somebody who hates you like you hate them, and y'all can just manipulate and sneak and hate each other secretly and smile in each other's face and talk shit about each other's back behind everybody and always looking for something better and another opportunity. That's the wife you deserve. That's not who I deserve to be. The daughter, the niece, the cousin that a lot of your family deserves is not who you deserve to be, aka you are not qualified for those roles. And that helps us absolve ourselves from so much of that guilt and sadness, because we're like, well, I was supposed to show up as a good sister, as a good daughter, as a good friend, as a good employee. But then when you realize I wasn't the best person for the job and they deserve to get what it is that they're looking for. Well, actually, I've done the right thing. I've released myself. And it's and the details are to minutia. The difference between me, a psychologist, and a psychiatrist, people think they're the same. I can't prescribe drugs, and some motherfuckers is in a DSM and need some dope. And I will be doing you a disservice to be like, yeah, let me come and let me help you. So there are certain things that if y'all say it, hey, I got a list of resources and we need to move you to another cohort because I am a Band-Aid and you need stitches. We are often not qualified to be the lowly, sad, martyrized, bleed out version of people that folks need. And everybody deserves to have their desires met. And believe it or not, there are people who are very comfortable being used and abused because that fits who they are. But as we come into this self-acceptance and self-loving and self-learning, we then age out, price out, space out, grow out of fitting in those roles of self-deprecating, self-harming. Maybe when you were a kid, you were a perfect fit for them. You were a great place for them to displace their self-hate and their anger. But now as a grown-ass woman, baby, it ain't your job. I can't do that. I'm from the Bay Area, and it was like a rapper. He died. His name is Mac Dre. And he was like, that's not my job. I don't do that. I'm a pimp/rapper. I thought you knew that. That phrase sits in my head. And every time somebody asks me to do something that's not of me or for me, and that's beyond friendships or relationships. There are people who say like, oh, we want you to come and we want you to teach this Kundalini yoga, or you're a black woman, we want you to teach Kemet yoga. And I'm like, early in my career, you're just so excited to get booked that you be like, oh, I don't know that stuff, but I'll figure it out. But the whole point is I want to help people and I want to make their lives better and I want to introduce them to wellness. And if it's not my fucking genius, then I am holding space for the person who belongs there. The more we become self-assured, the more rigid we actually become in what we will say yes to. And I interviewed and brought all of y'all on, and that was the first thing I said to you. You're going to tell me what's going on in your life, and if I'm a fucking genius at solving your problems, will I then invite you in? We're getting ready for the next cohort, and remember, there were 41 of you guys. I just was looking, and I remembered I interacted with 539 women to find the 41 of y'all. And it's not, if you have the money, you are qualified. It was like, because I've also taken on bitches before, and I'm like, yeah, well, she paying full, so I'll deal with it. And they made me suffer for 12 weeks. Oh my God. Whew, I gave that shit up about cohort 3. Now there is nothing you can do. And to absolve myself of that guilty feeling, I literally have a list of resources. Here's some books you can read. Here's some podcasts you can listen to. Here's some other bitches who are a coach who vibrate more on your frequency. I'm not going to be of the best service to you. And sometimes women fly under the radar. And then through conversation, we're like, oh, we can just stop this payment plan. We ain't going to collect another fucking penny from you because we are not in your best interest. The more you know yourself, the more you know you fit, the more comfortable you'll be when saying no. Because step 1 is understanding that no is a full-ass motherfucking sentence. Step 2 is realizing how powerful your yes is. And through this program, we're learning how to say no. And then we're moving towards the guilt-free no so that you have more space to say yes to the shit that lights you on fire. But you'll never find it until you make room. I understand my worth, and I understand what I bring to the table, and I understand the price that I have to pay to hold that worth, and I'm feeling that. Because when you have value and you charge value, sometimes that means you sit on the shelf a little bit longer than you would like to. Because people gotta save up their money, right? Like if there's a dream car or a dream house or any of these things that we want and we truly deeply desire, it's not that we don't want the thing. It's that we've got to save up the money because we respect it and we honor it and we wouldn't ask this thing to become any less of what it is. And so now you're left to deal with those feelings of real life, fuck, how am I going to pay for things? But also standing firm in that desire to not go back and say, well, how much y'all got? You got $5? I'll take $5. Like, just let me count your money. I'll make it work. And then once you get out of that survival mode, you already know, you'll be like, fuck, why did I sign up to enslave myself? Because I had a weak moment of thirst or desperation, or because I needed that win. So it doesn't feel good, but you're standing in it. You are standing in it. And as an entrepreneur, a fellow entrepreneur and a big business baddie, I feel you, right? Like I've told y'all 1,000 times, it's time for me to go and get our new cohort. And, you know, on Saturday, I had worked on this piece that I thought was so funny and was so good, Sharita. Like it was gonna slap every bitch in her face. Like literally the opening thing said, "It is Women's History Month and historically you've been a dumb bitch." I was like, that's gonna get him. Girl, we posted that shit on Saturday, and when I tell you nobody responded, like I ain't never seen it like that. And so honestly, I'm pacing through the house and I'm like, what if my luck is up, Chuck? What if, is it that I've been twerking too much? Do I have too many male followers now? Have I changed? Has the world changed? Does the world not need me? All of those thoughts still came up. All of them. But I had to start to remember, I've done it before. I can do it again. There's nothing wrong with me. I am going to work this out. More than the money, I am excited about transforming lives. And especially for what you do in the world of DEI when, what was it, Alabama or Arkansas or one of them fucking states just closed that shit all the way out. And programs are getting defunded left and right. To even be considered is a blessing. Now it's tough because you want that manifested, you want it materialized, you want that money in your pocket. And trust me, girl, don't nobody want you to win more than I do as a person you owe money to. Okay? All right. But I want you to continue to hold your worth and believe that everything is going to work out. So more to what was happening for me, I started wanting to do the thing that we always do. Work harder to make it work. And so then my brain went straight to, okay, so maybe I need to email all the people who didn't have money then, but maybe they have money now. Maybe I need to make more posts. Maybe I need to do this. Maybe I need to start sending out text messages. Work harder, work harder, work harder, work harder. And then I really stopped and I checked myself, Sharita, and I said, this idea that I have to work harder for what's already mine is actually going to be the thing that scares the money away, because I'm not wanting to write these emails and wanting to send messages out of like, oh, you know what would be fun and be nice? And this is coming from a place of inspiration. If I was to do more work over the weekend, I would have been doing it out of desperation and desperation. And that energy was going to push people away more, because believe it or not, people can sniff that on me. So what I decided to do instead was say, oh, whereas I cleared my schedule for Saturday and for Saturday and some of Monday because I thought I was going to have calls, here's an awesome opportunity for me to relax in this, for me to go and find my spirit guys and for me to go and consume their material. And then literally, I never, ever listen to podcasts that are not of my friends or podcasts that I wasn't already on. And I'm sitting in my car and something just says, I just got this inclination. You know what? Open up the podcast app. Literally, I've never opened up the podcast app on my phone before. And as soon as I opened it up, it was like Super Soul Sunday with Oprah and Angela Bassett. And those are two women who I think are fucking powerhouses, who have trailblazed. One of them's an Aquarius. And I've went through so much of my life being like, Angela Bassett is my mother. Like, I don't know why I used to say that, but I just used to. And then I met her husband when I was getting a facial, like way back when. But it popped up right there. And I listened to that podcast and I was just overcome with inspiration and love and joy and dedication and awe. And I spent the rest of my time listening to podcasts, reading Letting Go by David Hawkins, and just sitting in it. And what's super crazy is we took down that post because I was like, look, they ain't respect the art. Take the post down. We'll repost it on Tuesday. But what I'm going to do is, instead of getting scared and working harder, is I am going to rest and relax and know that I do good work and know that the world needs me and know that my clients are going to come to me. Because my concern isn't even for myself. It's making sure I can pay my team and making sure I can pay my landlord and the people who have set up a life for me to be easier. And Natalie will tell you, I don't know where the fuck they're coming from. Even though I took the post down, randomly people just started applying for the program. I'm like, okay. And this isn't to say that it's all over and the cohort is full and all of those sort of things, but I'm not looking at it anymore. And I want to encourage you and empower you to not look at it as I don't have the money, and instead give yourself the same peace that you would have if you knew the check was in the mail. Because if the check was in the mail, you still wouldn't have it in your bank account. It still wouldn't be spendable, but you would have some sort of peace knowing I'm going to figure it out. It's going to get here soon. And you are now in a place better than you ever been before. People see and respect your value. You have nothing to fear. You are not lacking. You are not lacking skill. You are not lacking delivery. You are not lacking communication. You are not lacking clients. And when you can start to think of, I have done everything that I need to do, and I am who I say I am. Therefore, the universe and everyone who falls under the realm of I fit the qualification for what they are asking for, either they're on their way to finding me or the check is in the mail. And the day when my services are absolutely no longer needed in the world, I will rejoice. Because I handle heavy shit. That's what I tell myself. And same for you. The day that the DEI is really actually not needed, that's going to be a beautiful day. But that's not today. So they're looking for you and your check is in the mail. And so from one entrepreneur to another, baby, you do good work. The check is in the mail. I hope that was helpful.
A deep, deep thank you goes out to you, BaeFriend, for tuning into The Shift Show. I'm Britteny Floyd-Mayo, founder of Trap Yoga Bae, your positive psychology advocate, and master confidence coach. I'm so glad that you joined me on this journey of self-discovery and transformation. My goal with Shift Show is to bring you real, raw, and unfiltered clips from live coaching sessions that can inspire you to live your best life and get your shit together. I'm so glad you joined me on this journey of self-discovery and transformation. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Trap Yoga Bae to find out how you can be in the room live, as well as catch behind-the-scenes content and daily inspiration. You can listen to Shift Show everywhere you listen to audio. You name it, bitch, I'm there. Thanks for being a part of my BaeFriend community. Stay fabulous, keep shining, and remember, you can get your shift together so you can keep your shit together. Until next time, BaeFriends. Mwah.